Ladies and gentlemen, taking the seat right now is Giovanni. I saw him first 4 years ago, or 5 years ago, at the IBM convention in Buffalo. And he just totally... I still remember him to this day because he took that old mathematical puzzle coin trick and turned it into... 5 minutes worth of just solid entertainment.
Take a silly puzzle and turn it into a closer for crying out loud.
I know, it's just ridiculous. So, well, let's start with that. What made you pick that mathematical puzzle that everyone would just overlook and say, I need to do something with that?
Well, my good friend Stephen Bargetzi. Do you know Stephen?
I have never seen him, but I've heard so much.
He's wonderful.
Yeah.
He's wonderful. I met Stephen for the first time at the Gatlinburg convention as Winter Carnival of Magic. Mm-hmm. And he was showing me this crazy puzzle, and then I learned the method, and I started assigning people jobs.
Yes,
and it
totally blows the trick way out of proportion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just huge.
Well, it turned a puzzle into 6 people participating in different parts, and it was a blast, absolute blast.
I can do this.
You can do that.
Trade
okay, I'll talk.
Talk to Giovanni. Trade seats with me. I'll do the grunt work, Brian.
My gosh. This operation is amazing. Your studio here at the IBM is first class.
The Magic Broadcast Studios
first
are
class.
amazing.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Truly.
Yeah, so how many people are involved in that?
6 people are involved
6
in the routine.
people.
Actually, you get the
All have
whole
their own
audience.
little jobs.
Yeah, there's 6.
Yeah,
you get the whole audience involved at certain parts, but six people.
So where did you find that trick?
Oh, I mean, you can find that in the Discovery of Witchcraft.
So it was just in one of the beginner's books. You just pull it out.
It breaks out Discovery of Witchcraft. Breaks out that book.
Looking for new material. Let's check Discovery. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's one of my great experiments is to grab the any book off the shelf. I like to go to Tarbell, for example, and just randomly pick an item, and open up the book, point my finger down at something, and look and say to myself, I'm going to try to discover the potential in this trick, because so many times we go through the book, that's not, nothing, or oh, that's so old, or oh, this would never work for today's audiences. I'll look at a trick in a new way and say, hey, how can I breathe new life into this? If I was going to do this trick, how could I make it work? What do I need to do? And so that's always a great experiment to do. It's always a great experiment. And that penny trick is a perfect example of something that everybody would pass up.
Yeah, totally.
It's just silly.
Anybody else doing it, it's just boring. It's just plain boring. Oh, look,
Absolutely.
It's still 10.
Yeah.
Oh. So what? How about, are there any other of these simple tricks you've taken and put into your act like this?
Well, the paddle move. I mean, the paddle move, I closed with it, when I competed in the IBM in 1991.
Oh, cool.
So it's a stupid paddle move.
Yeah.
I turned it into a trick called instant pizza. And you know what a pizza peel is? The item that you scoop pizza out of the oven?
Yeah.
It's like a giant spatula.
Yeah,
Well, I had one made that was miniature.
Okay.
And, I had a mini pizza on one side. You'd show both sides. Nothing. Put a piece of flash paper on it, burn it, and wham, the pizza appeared. And so, so you always have to look at something old. It can be something new again.
Yeah, that's kind of how I've always thought about it. There really are no bad tricks. There's always an idea in there that's worth exploring, worth adding on to, and it can be done. You can turn anything into a showpiece if you add enough entertainment on top
Absolutely.
of it. And all that stuff. I mean, the trick is,
I didn't make that.
It's not what you do. It's not what you.
99% presentation.
It's not what you do. It's how you do it.
Right.
Is what they normally would say. But you have to pick the things that fit you, of course.
Yes.
Listen,
Well, so how do you go about doing that? What fits Giovanni? What doesn't?
Well.
It's 20 tickets.
It depends on what venue. Mm-hmm. Am I in close up? Am I on stage? That's such a loaded question. How do you know? Because there's tricks that I would pass up, and then later on look at it from a whole new criteria, and it hits. If you know your performance values, your character, if you're in tune with how you like to travel with props and all of those kinds of things, all of that plays a part of, selecting what's good for you. There's one thing that has bothered me over the years is they would say, oh, pack small, play big, and that's always good.
Yeah.
But I never put my own convenience over the impact of the audience. So sometimes my own convenience is going to be jeopardized. It's going to take God forbid, it's going to take some effort on my part, right? A preset, time that, it's going to take me 10 minutes to preset this thing. Some people go, oh, that's too much work. Well, good entertainment is hard work.
You should start with the show, and whatever it takes to do the show you want.
Right.
That's what you got to do. That's your commitment.
You have to ultimately look at, it's not, is it about you or is it about them?
Right.
For me, it's about them.
Yeah,
I want to
pack's as small as it can, but that's it.
Yeah, as small as I can. But if I have to ship something or if I have to lug something, I'll do it because I want my, the time that I'm with that audience to be the best darn, hour or whatever time it is that I'm going to create for them.
Yeah, a friend of mine was once doing a Cards Across routine that he actually carried around like a silk bush, like a plant, like potted plant.
Right. And did it add the impact?
He had fun with it. Yeah, totally.
Well, the question is did the audience have fun with it?
Yes.
Okay.
Was
it worth it for the audience?
It made it more than a card trick. It was more fun than the card trick.
It was a
itself.
bush card trick.
It was the bush trick.
Okay. Fascinating.
So that's
fascinating.
Just an example of committing to having to pack things around just for entertainment.
We're having
value.
a great time here at IBM.
Oh, it's been a blast. We were just talking with Larry Wilson a little bit ago, Wonderland, on the cover of Magic Magazine like 3 months ago.
Natural.
Last night, Marvin Roy was here.
He is
Talked with
so
Mark Palin.
great. I love Marvin. Well, he's got such passion for the art of magic.
Yeah.
Such passion.
I met him the same time I saw you at the convention 2000, and I just wished I could be that energetic.
Yeah.
At his age, compared to me,
He's 80 years old now.
I know.
He's 80 years old. And you watch those, Mr. Electric and Mrs. Electric.
Mrs.
Carol. What a wonderful couple.
In Buffalo, I rode an elevator with them, and it was like, wow, just keep it down. It's a small room in here, but they're just bounding with energy.
They are definitely energetic.
Yeah. So, you've also written a book. I know Gerald was telling me he owns it.
Right.
What's the title of that book?
Well, I have a couple of books.
Okay.
I have a couple of books. I have The Amazing Cigar that I did with John Rockerbaumer.
Right, okay, yeah.
It's, everything about smoke rings and match puzzles that you'd ever want to know for the avid cigar smoker. Then I think the book that he was talking about was The Amazing Dad.
Amazing Dad.
400 ways to wow the
Super Dad
kids.
or Amazing Dad.
The Amazing Dad.
Yeah.
Well, it was just printed in Spanish under the title Super Papa. Super Papa. So
yeah, I just love the idea of that book. I
it's
saw
great.
that.
You can check out AmazingDad.com, and I have some sample things on there. One of the cool things that the guys might like is I've come up with an original scenario where you find while in the ocean with your kids, they discover a bottle that pops up out of the water with a treasure map. They follow the map and they find buried treasure on the beach. Treasured memory. It's from doing all the shows over all the years that I don't know what it is, but only the men would come to me and they say, Gio, that was amazing. Teach me a trick that I can amaze my kids with. And after hearing that for so many years, I decided to put together The Amazing Dad, 400 Ways to Wow the Kids. And my current book right now, which is surprising a lot of magicians out there, is my book, Live 1,000 Years, Have the Time of Your Life. And it's all about how to have happiness and abundance in your life. So it's a motivational story that I wrote. Yeah. And I hope you'll enjoy it. It's filled with all kinds of magic. And it's surprising to me how many of the lessons that we learn in magic, misdirection and surprise and build and series and all of those things can apply to other parts of entertainment. And here I am. I wrote this book, and all of the lessons that I learned as a magician really applied in writing the story. And so some of my magic sister and brethren out there, I hope you'll enjoy my book, Live 1,000 Years, Have the Time of Your Life.
Yeah. Now, from what I know, you're one of the top trade show magicians in North America. Is that still your primary?
No. I have stepped out of the trade show market. I enjoyed it. Yeah, entirely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I have one or two clients that you have that love relationship with them.
Right.
You've done them. For 20 years, I've had some clients.
They'd be hurt if you didn't do their trade show.
No, I would be hurt if I didn't do their trade show because I love them so much, But I had a great run in trade shows. I loved it because I love to sell and I love magic, and I have the boundless energy, and I enjoyed that for many years. But it's important that your business model also fit your life model. And anytime your fund meter starts to dip down, you have to make a change. I do. And so my fund meter started to dip down, and I recently got married, and I have 2 baby girls.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. And so I wanted to make sure that my model for my business would match my life model. And so I had to make some changes because trade shows were taking me away from home too long.
Yeah.
And I want to raise my kids, you
Right.
know. So
you want to be the amazing dad.
that's exactly right. But there you go, and live 1,000 years. So so I had to make some changes, and I also needed to be challenged. You know, I didn't see myself pitching corporate America's products for the rest of my life.
Right.
And so, you know, with the book Live 1,000 Years, it's more of a transformational message, and so I've been using my magic to deliver messages of happiness and success, and more into the motivational side of things. It fits me. And so,
Any specific venue for these? Or
I
just
work
various
corporate
wherever?
America.
Okay.
I work corporate America is where I primarily work, but I see myself transitioning more to a general public venue very soon, which is kind of exciting. It's you have to shake it up. You know, if you're not on the edge yourself, if you don't have that kind of, you know, that gut bubbling, you know, nervousness that or an excitement. You know, you have to make a change if you don't want to become stagnant. You know, I think Marvin said something yesterday that I thought was just great, and he was just saying, never lose, no, always be in love with the goddess of magic. Was the way he said it. And if you start to fall out of love with the goddess of magic, it probably means you need to make some kind of change. And so I think that's one of the things that I've enjoyed over the years was you know, I started off doing children's magic. I had a children's television show in my 20s, and I was the magician for the Orlando Magic basketball team with my partner Tim Glancy back in the days. And
Obvious fit there.
we did it. Yeah, of course. And so I did sports for many years, and then I did trade shows and banquet shows, and I keep evolving and keep challenging myself and reinventing myself, and I'm having a great time with that.
Well, that's what's important.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to admit this, but this radio station is not exactly entirely profitable. I mean, this isn't a multi-million-dollar
Oh,
business.
come on. Oh,
Yes, Ryan.
yes. But it's profitable. You're a millionaire in goodwill, my good man.
If they had
That's
profit
right.
sharing, I'd be broke.
I'm doing this for fun, and because I just love doing it.
Well,
it's been great. So.
You know, it's the key is, and you guys are doing it very well. I'm very impressed with what you guys are doing. I'm very excited because it's a work of passion, and I encourage people to find where your passion and your talent collide, because you know some people have got great talent but they have little passion, and then you know people who have got great passion but they have little talent. And you guys obviously have the talent and the passion, and what talent you don't have, you're certainly learning it and you're developing it.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, when money will come eventually. You don't have to worry about that because you're having fun. It's paying you dividends and fun, and you're helping the magic community. I think what you guys are doing is just fantastic. I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, good job.
Gerald, you're having fun?
No.
Okay, well,
He's not having
a lot of
Steve
fun.
and I are having fun. And
I'm
that's
having a great
important.
time.
Well,
We get to give away stuff and talk to interesting people and
That's
sit
right.
in our butts and drink soda.
well, I wish you guys the very best.
Thank
I
you.
wish you the very best, and congratulations with your station since October.
Thank you.
And keep up the good work.
Thank you. It's
So,
a
and
labor of
you're
love.
just chilling at the convention this year?
Yeah, I'm hanging.
You're just a guest. Like
I'm a guest, for crying out loud.
That's
That's great. Yeah, I just, you know, it's been a while since I've been to the IBM. Thought I'd pop in and, you know.
Did you see the show last night?
I did see the show.
Yeah.
I did see the show. It was fabulous.
I'd never seen Dana Daniels before.
Oh, isn't he terrific?
Yeah, Ryan was actually mocking me for being. I was crippled.
Just so
with
giddy.
laughter.
He was.
Yeah.
I was
He
giggling.
was killing me.
Yeah.
He was killing
Isn't
me.
that great?
I couldn't stop. It's
That's what this is all about. You know, being surprised again.
Yeah.
It's nice to come and be surprised.
renewing your love.
Yeah.
for this
well,
art.
that's right. You
It
gotta.
is.
You gotta.
The second
You know,
honeymoon with
yeah.
magic.
Yeah. You gotta renew. You gotta reset.
Yeah, you see these guys, you say, man, I got to be that good.
Yeah.
I gotta
Be
keep
ins-
working at it.
Be inspired.
Yeah.
Be
It
inspired.
is possible to get to that level, to see
Right.
a benchmark to shoot for.
Well, it's always good because you can see a magician and you don't have to steal the routines, but you can always borrow something from them. So, for example, you watch the Pendragons and I say, precision. I need to be more precise.
Their clockwork.
Right, precision. You
Yeah.
know, Tim Conover. For those of you who know Tim Conover, I'll look at him, and for me, he represents the relentless pursuit of method. So whenever I see Tim, he reminds me that I need to, just absolutely go for the best method that I possibly can find. So you can see certain magicians. Some magicians will watch me and say, "Oh man, I need my energy. I need to step up energy." So each magician has some little nugget that they stand for that you can kind of adopt and use that lesson as a reminder.
I like that.
Yeah.
To this day, the most amazing thing I've ever seen was Tim Conover.
He is fabulous, isn't he?
He did a trick.
You mean a miracle?
It was.
He didn't
it
do a
was.
trick. He does
It was a
miracles like
miracle.
that.
It was a miracle. He read the serial number off of a bill that I was holding, looking into a crystal ball.
Yeah.
And I tried for a couple of years to backward engineer that and figure it out. And now I'm at the point where no one ever tell me how that works.
Yeah,
because I know exactly how it works. It's magic.
Isn't that
I'm
wonderful?
Completely convinced. It's a beautiful, beautiful trick.
Speaking of magic, it's time for me to disappear, gents.
All right. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
Okay. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks for coming
Steve,
on.
thank you,
I
sir.
got you right there, Gary. Giovanni, very
Peace.
nice seeing you. Nice meeting you. Thanks for joining us.
Too. Thank you.
And have fun at the convention.
Gonna do it.
That's all I need.
All right. I'm now in the co-host chair, which means I don't have to do anything right now except
Hey.
talk.
That's hard.
What?
It's hard.
What?